Hey, welcome back, girls, gamers, and all of the in-between. Today we are back in the Microcenter studio and doing a special Corsair themed build. We were given these cool new parts from Corsair to test out, so we're gonna see how amazing and splendid it looks in this case. So today we are rocking with a Ryzen 7 9800X3D, a Radeon RX 9070 XT, the ASUS Tough Gaming B650E Wi-Fi board, along with Vengeance RGB DDR5 RAM from Corsair, the 32 gigs. And then we also have the Notulus 360 RS ARGB liquid cooler, some more QX120 RGB fans in case I want to throw those in the case, and then a classic Crucial T710 1TB storage drive, and of course the Corsair 750 watt power supply. And then we're also building in the fantastic Corsair 4500X case, which I have not worked in before, but from first glance it looks pretty sick, so I'm excited to see how everything works its way in there. Products unboxed, you know, it's classic steps. Let's go ahead and get into it. So always first, CPU classic. CPU in, go ahead, throw in the NVMe now. And this time I'll actually remember to put in my standoffs on the board for the cooler before I throw it in the case. I double checked before I started taking everything apart, and I could have put it on afterwards, but the easier that you can make your life, the better. So it is alas getting winter time. It is almost Christmas season is almost upon us. So hopefully you guys have made your lists and you've checked them twice. Let Santa know what you want. I know personally, I'm like nerding out. I feel like every time that I ask for something for Christmas, it ends up being something from Microcenter or like car parts. So I've been getting a lot more into Raspberry Pis lately too. I was into them for a long time there, but kind of drifted more towards Arduinos, but I'm getting back into hopefully home labbing some other stuff here soon, so be sick to get, I need to get a network switch so I can actually run all of my computers in my room to Ethernet, because right now I only have one, and my Wi-Fi is absolutely horrendous, so maybe I need to add a router to that list too. The winter time is so pretty, I love the snow, but then you think about driving, and like walking in weather. I'm finishing up classes right now for college, and having to walk in that snow at like 7:30 a.m. will be the death of me, but we're almost done. Bouncing back and forth, I guess. I'm not very strategic with how I'm putting these things on. Just like that. The parts are in the motherboard. Crazy. This case threw me for a loop for a second there, because if you can't tell, it's got that glass side panel that like wraps around. Whenever you build, take off all of the case panels. I've learned my lesson one too many times. I'm going to look up the manual on how to take this off. You pull up from the bottom in case anybody is building in that. Beautiful. Seeing that AMD is having their new, talking about the 9850X3D, which is crazy. It's just crazy how powerful these like new processors and hardware is becoming. So like another 5090 or another GPU that was saying you'd need, it's like another 2000 watt power supply or something, but something that I hear quite often is, you know, less talk and more screw turning, which I should probably live by right now, because you already know what's coming next. The front, the case, the IO panels, the IO panel connections, what more could you ask for? I've just been doing a lot of work recently with lights and RGB, so I feel like maybe I just have some heated opinions on those things. But I recently did a super large LED light install at Pyramid Hill, which is a sculpture park here. Classic addressable RGB strips, projectors, like crazy light fixtures. Made this whole outdoor light show, but the amount of research I had to do for LEDs was actually crazy, because those things take up way more power than anybody would think. Because why are like 500 LEDs taking up 300 watts of power at full brightness? I'm not quite sure. Don't ask me, but now I know. And it also turns out you can run 10,000 LEDs off of 5 ESP32s. So in case you need to know, there's that. Wire stripping in a cold field. It was about like 30 degrees at night. So that was not quite fun, but if you guys look it up online, I think it looks spectacular. And if y'all don't know, ESP32s are just like another little microcontroller that They have Wi-Fi chips on them, but the ones that I used actually had Ethernet soldered on as well. And they used an open source program called WLED, which is super cool. If you gamers out there want to make your gaming setups look that much better, you know, if you want to feel like that satisfaction of like building your own stuff, I would definitely look into WLED and then some like ESP32s, something like that, because it's super fun. It's really easy to set up too, and you can sync everything very seamlessly across your network. So less talk and more screw turning. And I wonder if they're ever gonna make a new design for the USB 3.0 headers, because the amount of times that I've heard of somebody else or myself even ripping like the connection off of the motherboard from these designs is quite a few anyway. But I guess once you work on stuff so long, you're always gonna find something to talk about, right? It's not that bad of a connector, but I'm sure there's gotta be like a better design. Like the 3.1, the USB-C header for the front panels, amazing, I love it. So nice. Who am I to say I'm not designing cases? Except I did design a case. Designing computer cases it was harder than I thought it was gonna be. But it's cool, for sure. Our RM750X fully modular power supply. Classic motherboard, of course. CPU. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my 2 CPU cables. It technically probably doesn't need it, but if you got the cables, use them, am I right? 9070 XT. What do you guys think? I think that's gonna be like three PCIe cables? I'm a genius, guessed right. 3 PCIe pins. This cooler from Corsair does not use the IQ Link stuff, so I believe we're just gonna be using the classic CPU and RGB headers, so that should be good. A singular PCIe, and then a dual. Should be all we need. I really like the look of these braided cables. For these to look really good though, you definitely do have to use those cable combs, so it doesn't get like super tangled, but I don't know, I just like the look of these kind of braided cables that a lot of manufacturers are going with now. But this thing would be great for Arc Raiders. I've been hearing a lot about that game recently, and I've had people try to explain to me that it's an extraction shooter, whatever that means. All I know is I think like the real shooter games out there that we need to be talking about more, Fortnite. I just think that like game has the best graphics in terms of like how real it looks. Like I feel like I'm like genuinely IRL when I'm playing that game, so. I do want to try out Arc Raiders though. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. Everybody seems to enjoy it. I just have had no time to game recently. Just quite unfortunate. But winter time's coming up, December, January, you can't go outside. What else are you doing? I think one of the last games that I genuinely did, like play through the full game was it like High on Life? It was by the Rick and Morty creators. And that came out a while ago, which is kind of sad because I just built myself my new computer with like a 9950X and like 96 gigs of RAM and a 3090 Ti. And the most intense game I've played on it is Fortnite. It's proven itself really nice in terms of my like 3D modeling, 3D rendering and stuff that I do. Came from a Ryzen 7 2700X and like 32 gigs of RAM, so literally anything that I put in that system I've noticed a crazy difference on. Obviously the X3D is better for gaming, and I think it would definitely help me in some of my 3D renderings and things like that. Very nice. Nice little detail, Corsair, thank you. Just using 2 little thumb screws instead of the standard like 4 screws to hold your power supply in. It's nice. Don't have to worry about where I put those power supply screws, 'cause those things are like disappearing like no other. Somebody must like steal power supply screws, because like whenever you need one, you'll have 3, not the 4th. Never the 4th. You know, while I'm on the topic of games, I was thinking about, another game I was thinking about recently, Roblox. There was like a premium membership or something you could get for Roblox. I don't even remember like what it gave you, special perks and stuff. Let me route these up and then we can go ahead and throw in that cooler. I've gotten so used to like the liquid coolers just coming with the fans pre-installed now that anytime I see one without it, I'm like, what is going on here? How do I do this? The worst thing too when you're doing one of these liquid coolers, I did this the other day when I was working Black Friday at my home store. And I was doing builds because I'm goated with the sauce. I do builds, of course. And I installed this cooler like I put the fans on like 3 times before I got the orientation correct. I was just like, it was like right before my lunch. I was like so hungry, just like not paying attention. Cause I just had to like redo it 3 times because I just kept putting the fan order on the wrong way, and I just don't know how I did it that bad, but I mean, I fixed it. I made it look beautiful, as I always do. Rule of thumb whenever you're doing this, your tubes always come down from, almost always anyway, right? You almost always, like when you're mounting these up top, have your tubes like that. So if you are screwing your fans on, you put this towards you, right? Tubes on the side, then you have your fan cables facing towards you. And that way, when you install it, the fans will be facing the correct way. And so will your cables. One thing about me, I'm gonna use the washers, unless it won't fit. There are a few cases, actually, that if you use the washers when you install the screws to put it on the top cover, where you'll have your like little mesh guard to like keep the dust and stuff out, it'll make that pop up because there's not enough room between the coverage. When you add the washer, it like raises the screw up a little bit, and then it just makes that little mesh panel thing not sit flat. Which is like not the end of the world. I mean, it's like a small visual impact, but going back to the Christmas thing though, and like what we're all asking for the holiday season, or if you celebrate something other than Christmas, I hope it is splendid and joyful and full of happiness. But another thing that I need to get a new keyboard soon. I built my own a while back, and I think it's one of those GMMK Pros. It's a really great keyboard. I have like no complaints about it. I like the switches that I put in. I mean, the keycap color is very cute. I thought when I can't remember, is it a 60, 70% or something? It doesn't have the numpad on the side though. And it's like bad. I thought that like I could get by without having one, but I always like find myself reaching over to use it and not having it. So I need to build a new one if anybody has recommendations. I really like transparency. My computer that I built, it was it was a fully clear like acrylic case, so it's, you think some of these computer cases are fish tanks, like you haven't seen mine. Mine's like a full-blown fish tank. I tried to find like a mouse recently because I had to upgrade my mouse. I ended up going with some like carbon fiber one. It's like 38 grams. It's super cool, but it doesn't really match, I guess, my computer either. But I don't know, I've got like the Harman Kardon sound sticks, like those clear speaker set as well. So do like a full transparent setup, but no glass desk though, because I'm scared of glass desks. Like actually, I'm like terrified. Like what if I'm like having like gamer rage and like I have to hit my table and then it just like shatters. Anywho, as y'all can see, we got like the daisy chain stuff on this liquid cooler. So I'm gonna have this route out the back that way. Give us these little adapter cables to make them longer so I can actually plug it into my board. I have a lot of people that come into our service department, because at the moment we only accept like GPU trade-ins that were bought from us. And I know I get a lot of people asking like what to do with their old machines, and you know, we're happy to recycle them, but Facebook Marketplace, you get some good tech finds. You know, I've done a few liquid-cooled builds for the channel now. I was just thinking about like what else we could do here on the channel, and then it got me thinking more, because I was also thinking about cars, and I was thinking about how people would run like Honda Civics on Mountain Dew for their coolant, and it ran fine, because like Honda Civics don't die. Imagine a Christmas special liquid-cooled computer, cooled with eggnog. I think that makes a fantastic idea. And like the best part is like, you can use food grade stuff, right? And then your computer gets hot, right? It heats up the eggnog for you. You use one of the drain spouts and bam, eggnog computer. Back to it, less talking, more screw turning. I do like that a lot of these liquid coolers are coming with pre-installed thermal paste, because then you don't have to worry about what pattern you want to do. You want to do X? You want to do a dot? You want to do zigzags? You don't have to, man. They give it to you, all spread out, nice and even on that, and it's beautiful. All of this RGB is good, so we can link the RGB from the fans to the liquid cooler. They're like the little CPU bit, but we'll have to run the CPU fan header and then like the AIO pump header separately. That way the BIOS can detect and control everything properly. Okay, I'll give props to this case. I do like how they have the liquid cooler pushed more towards the front of the case, so you can actually see your headers up here on the top of the motherboard. I think we can do one as an exhaust fan, and then I should be able to mount two more right there. Moment of appreciation for this packaging, man. Oh, those are so reverse blades. Okay, Corsair, you've outdone yourself again. You know what's up. Shucks, that's a perfect fit. The IQ Link hub does not use SATA, so at least I didn't plug in SATA, but it does use PCIe to power it. So Good thing we had one spare cable left. Because I have had an issue before where we had like another build similar to this in our service department, and we just like simply did not have enough PCIe cables between the graphics card and this hub. It's real nice to see though. I mean, I've been consistently building computers for over 5 years now. That's how long I've been here, which is crazy. It's almost like the USB-C shift too, where like we were in that like really weird like transition period for a few years where we were going from USB-A to C, but like everything was just like bad and annoying because you like never had the cable that you needed. It was kind of like that with liquid coolers for a while there, where like a lot of manufacturers were trying out different like proprietary cable types and like all of these different ways to plug everything in. And it was so hectic because like every manufacturer did something different. I mean, like everybody does still kind of do slightly different things still, but they seem to like finally be getting everything into a good flow. I mean, yeah, like the IQ stuff, that's where it's at, let me tell you, because if I can have one cable over like 10 million, yes. Like remember the days when you had like a USB header and then like a SATA and then a fan and RGB on your cooler? No more. I'm like talking to myself. You guys don't even know what's going on. You can't even see back here. And that way you guys won't even know how bad my cable management is. I can say it looks good, but then it could be the worst thing in the world. Nice and pretty. Look at that, so beautiful. Our 9070 XT. Will this go in as smooth as butter? Let's see. A little finessing, and she's in. Can I get a really satisfying peel off of this? The answer is yes, but it was on the inside panel. So turn it on and see if it works. Okay, it's almost like I've been building computers for a while. Beautiful, that's it for now. I'm gonna go and find out where Jordan keeps his Windows installer so I can get Windows on here. Change the light. All right, we're back with the final product. I got some of my drivers installed. I decided I kind of like this color wave, so I'm just gonna keep it for now. But I mean, overall, the 4500X, I think it's a really good case from Corsair. It was really easy to build in, the cable management, great. The rest of the products look really good in here, so very happy with this final product. And as always, if you are dying to have a microcenter near you, make sure to comment, I want a microcenter near me. And as always, if you want to keep seeing amazing content like this, go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel, but otherwise, we'll see you next time in the studio. Jordan even said, he said if I was like really good today and I like got this build done in a good amount of time, he would let me play Fortnite.